basement boys.
Yeah.
The basement.
We got it right. Oh, here we go. Oh wait, I forgot the. Excuse me. All right, yeah. What's happening, man? Thank you for tuning into another episode of Camp from the Port. All right. Yeah, I'm Camp. You know what I mean, and that's what we do here. Well, that's not really what we do because I haven't done anything yet. So before we get into what I do here, got to shout out, of course, the Basement Boys who have the official intro for the show, and also. Shout to me, man. Shout to me. Cam Quotes Tees. You know what I mean? So get on the teespring.com/stores/Cam Quotes. CAMQUOTES. That is how you can get all of the lovely and creative sayings that I have put on shirts and hoodies for you all to hopefully enjoy, and some of them to even live by. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not dying broke is a powerful statement. And it's a statement that can't be achieved without action. So you might want to cop that. Just a reminder to yourself, because that's what I do. And I know I don't have one on right now since you're watching me on YouTube. But that don't mean I won't get one and will be wearing it on the show. Matter of fact, I need to get better at making sure that I am wearing something of mine, if you will, every time I get in front of a camera. So whether it's the First Black Champ podcast with JR Bang, or if it's banging on lunch tables with Mike Jones, MIC Jones, for everybody out there listening, or just my own Cam Quotes T, y'all need to see exactly what I'm into and what I'm doing. So I'll get better at that. And speaking of getting better, that's really what the entire show is about for today. And the only way you can get better, all honesty, is to execute at all cost. So, speaking of executing at all costs, let's talk about this show, right? So, if you've seen the first 5 episodes of Camp from the Port, you've seen me with a person, and we are talking about life and times and whatever it is that they are into or the things that they have experienced, right? And that is ultimately the idea, that is the main idea of the show. For those of you that may not know, when I was creating this, I am hoping this will be my version of the Joe Rogan Experience, because I really do like his show. Been following Joe Rogan through just UFC alone. And when he started doing podcasting in like 2009, it started off very, very small and humble, but I mean, he kept going, and 10 years later, look where he is. Over 10 years later now, because it's 2020. So over 10 years later, and look where he is now as far as the podcasting game. I think it's fair to say that he's probably the biggest podcast in the US for sure, possibly the world. Now, I know you might like other people more, but right now, as far as grossing and content, he's A1. And that's not something that I loathe or hate or unappreciate. I actually admire it, and I want to do something and pattern a lot of what I'm about to do after that. Now, the hurdle that I run into all the time when I want to do shows like this is booking guests. Not because I don't want to talk to anybody, it's because I lack the ability to be mobile enough to meet everybody's schedule so we can do the episodes. Like, I work a full-time job, I also work a seasonal job, and then other people have lives. I have a whole family that I have to keep in tune with, and it gets difficult. And so do a lot of my guests. Like, when I build content, I never wanted to rely on guests. And after about a good solid 10 years of, interviewing what they would call celebrities, or, the important people, the famous people, the people in the know of the entertainment world, I got extremely burnt out on it. And now I'm in this space where I want to just talk to the people I genuinely admire and respect, or I just am compelled by their story and I want them to share it. I want to give them an opportunity to share the things that they've been through and the things that they do. And those people aren't, quote, famous. They're just people that I like talking to. And I always thought that that would be something cool to do. And if I ever have like real friends that happen to be celebrities, or that are celebrities, then I'll definitely open up this platform to do it. However, with my schedule and with time and with me not being, quote, as important as I probably need to be to execute at the drop of a dime, the content suffers. And nothing suffers content more by just not producing any. And months had went by, and I was still only on episode 5, but yet I am sitting here and, applying for jobs left and right, trying to make extra money, trying to see when I can get resources to get time to do things. And then it just felt like the proverbial hamster wheel, running fast in place, going absolutely nowhere. And that's kind of how content works, right? If you stand idle, you'll never get nothing done. If you sit on your ideas, you'll never get them completed. It's better to have a makeshift idea or structure of what it is and just grow beyond that. And granted, I don't think I am a perfectionist, but I at least wanted to get the main idea out. And I thought that would be difficult to do without a guest, but I also want to show that I am able to create content all on my own, with nobody as a crutch, because let's face it, we live in a world right now where everybody is hopping on some social platform in some nice area or lobby to talk to somebody. Everybody's on the couch or in the chair or on location talking to somebody. And I'm not knocking it, but it's all become talking heads, all become mundane. Nothing's really standing out to me as the person that is the go-to for great content in any aspect of media. I don't just leave that to what they call urban media or radio, TV, white media, as they like to say. I just think across the board, nobody's really pushing the envelope for content, and a lot of content, interviews, conversations, if you will, are all about maintaining relationships. Now, that's not saying that we gotta go back to the shock jock days where everybody was trying to say something to get punched in their face or cussed out, but at least give us something that we haven't heard before, or give us something that shows that you are a true supporter, or dare I say even fan of the person that you are interviewing. And that is definitely one of the big things in the independent circuit, because you kind of do your research and you know people, but you don't really know them, but you try to make the best moment that you can. And I'm honestly just over that rat race in general. So that's why I was gonna do this. And I say was gonna do it because I obviously stopped because I couldn't have the guests I wanted at the time I wanted, and that's all my fault. So to fast forward, in case that felt like rambling to you all, the last couple months, I've been on a money mission, trying to get the right resources, financial resources, to make this thing happen. And then just like that, I had an epiphany that we all have probably several times throughout our lives, but we just don't act and execute on it as we should. And then we kind of feel foolish, like I felt foolish, right? Because my thing was, the best way for me to make money is to do things that I love, or things that I'm passionate about doing, right? We've been over that several times. However, those things currently don't pay, but perhaps they would if I was going hard enough every day, or at least every week, to make sure it happened. And then, just like that, I got another job. a third one doing overnights. With that inkling in my mind of, hey, if I really went hard at doing this, I'd be okay. And I would be able to get, compensation in due time. I just need to focus the energy and do what I need to do on the things that I want to do, and it'll make it happen. And then, no joke, first weekend of that job, I felt like I shouldn't be there. Absolutely felt like I shouldn't be there, like I was in the entire wrong place. This is the wrong time. I have no future in this. I don't desire to be the manager or the owner. I am wasting time. I'm getting a little coin, but I'm wasting time. And is the money worth it when you feel like you're wasting time? Short story, quick ending, no, it doesn't. And that's where I was. And in the midst of all this, I got an inquiry about producing somebody else's podcast, something I had posted about months before. Now, does this all happen at one time for no reason? I don't think so, because I'm worried about money. I'm worried about developing my real career path that I want. I am unhappy at this brand new overnight job because it's not what I want to do. I make up in my mind that I'm about to quit. I'm just going to try to stick it out for 30 days. But in 3 days, I get an inquiry about my services being for hire for somebody. And that helped me make up my mind instantly. I quit that day. Matter of fact, this episode was supposed to take place on the day I quit, but I got a little tied up in another episode, as y'all know, from episode 6. So that didn't happen. And then, of course, life and times and just having to travel and do other things, I wasn't able to do that on time. But the point is, right now, I've done it. And this is now the second episode, which will be episode 7 only, of a show that debuted last summer, which is terrible, but that's not the point. The point is, now I see the value in execution and how important it is to execute at all costs. I don't have a guest. We still doing the show. I'm not in a desired setup. Like, we in my crib right now. But the show will continue to go on. This is free time. And yes, I am trying to hit the gym and do all of those things as well. But this is what I want to do long term. Me speaking to all of you and speaking to some of my favorite people in the world, to build dialogue and conversation, give another layer to what black media and black personalities can look like, be like, talk like, think like. I'm doing that because that's what I want to do with my time and my purpose. And also, I think it is time that I talk more about me. And that might sound severely narcissistic and self-absorbed, but no. My mind goes through a lot of things, and I've been trying to figure out a way to express them. And my blog, livingascamclose.com, may just not be enough. Maybe it is time that I talk about some topics and talk about them in ways that I can only do when you can hear my voice and see my reactions on this here YouTube. This is exclusively for YouTube. Camp from the Port. The show is officially a YouTube exclusive. It is going to be taking over my entire channel that I've revamped for like the third time now. But it's all about execution. I can't continue to let time go by waiting for the right moment and the right situation to happen. I can't continue to not do this show or not do that show because, oh, this guest can only do Tuesdays and I work all day Tuesdays, or this Saturday is good for them and bad for me, or they're just busy, so I'll just wait. I don't have time to wait because this is also my path that's on hold. You know, the longer you wait to go after your goals, the longer you'll be in situations that you find undesirable. And that's not cool. That sucks. You dig? So there is really no other greater reason than that. I look at the early Joe Rogan Experience episodes, and you know, he was one episode like he's on the couch with his homeboy and they're on Ustream, no microphones. At least I got a snowball mic here. I don't know if y'all can see it really good in the camera, but that's what I have here, and I got a camera angle. I'm also recording an audio just in case, you know, on the software, because I gotta make sure I get the content, and I gotta make sure I get it out to all of you. It's so important to me that I become the writer and podcaster that I want to be, and that's only going to come with dedicating more time. It's going to come with executing at all costs. So from here on out, to be clear, Camp from the Port will go on as long as I'm alive. We'll have something to talk about. Life and everything in it happens every single day. A lot of people have opinions. I want to build conversation. I want to have perspective. I won't be here to browbeat all of you about what I believe. You know, you'll get some of that though, but it's not going to be a preachy, browbeating, I'm better than you type of dialogue. You know, I like to ask questions, because when you ask, you'll always know and never have to assume. So those things are important to me, and those are the things that I want to talk about absolutely all the time, whether there's a guest here or not, because the show's vision, to be honest, is going to be set up possibly in a home studio of mine, where there's like a nice little like fridge or something that has like great water and other just, you know, snacks or whatever. It might be a DJ that's just here to set the mood. We'll have like music breaks and we'll jam and do all of that. You know what I mean? So we might even have the pizza man just come down, sit with us, chop it up while me and some of the homies are talking about some of the things that we want to talk about. I have crazy vision for this show, and it's got to happen some way, one way or another. I think I've proved over the last decade that I know how to talk to people. I know how to interview people. That's not the hard part. I've always been in a position where I've been given the task of elevating somebody else's brand or entity. Now it's going to do that for my own. I may have more, quote, followers than the average person, but my engagement is trash. I am not necessarily that popular on social media due to a lot of my hiatuses. If hiatuses is actually a word, I'm not sure, and I'll be honest, and I'm not going to sit here and try to Google and figure it out. That's more editing. Why do all of that? This is about the future of the show and the vision of it. I do see something extraordinary. Like, I got these posters of Mike Tyson, and they're supposed to be like right behind me right now while we're talking to the guest, and there's going to be a lot of like black excellence all over the walls, and I'm going to be talking to people of all walks of life. I want to know things that I don't know about, you know, health and wealth and information technology, hell, even politics, even though I do believe in the presidential agenda. And you know what? I'm going to wait for the proper time to do that episode to tell you exactly why I believe in the presidential agenda. It will not be compromised. And maybe when I explain that, you'll agree as well. But, you know, we got to start somewhere, man. And that's the vision. But the reality, it's me with my blue snowball microphone, my laptop here, and my ideas. And my ideas are to be brought to the people because, hey, if you see the vision of what I just said and you believe in it and you want to help sponsor or be a part of it, then I'm here for that. And that's how we grow and get to the next level. Matter of fact, I know it's going to be a home studio in my house. Like, it has to be, because I need something to create audio, visual, all the time. All the time. That's what I would love to do. So the vision versus the reality. This is the reality. But if you can see me here now and you willing to sit with me and talk with me and grow with me until we get to that finish line, then it'll just make that moment that much sweeter. Because right now, it's definitely time that I do what I can with what I got. No more excuses. No more waiting for the right time, the perfect time, the right resources, the right people, the right dollar amount, and all of that. It's got to be washed away. It's just time to get out here and execute. I have to put my name on the map as well as my platforms and my shows. I feel that way about Camp from the Port. I feel that way about Banging on Lunch Tables. I feel that way about First Black Champ. We've been doing this way too long for us to still be somewhat stagnant and, the most important word, inconsistent. So that is what we are striving for right now. It's all about success. It's all about execution and executing at all cost. Really, why waste y'all time with a bunch of other just talk to be talking? But however, if you do want me to talk about something, feel free to put it in the comments of this video and I will be sure to tackle it ASAP. If it is a like pop culture or entertainment type of question, let's move those over to Instagram. So follow me on Instagram at Camp from the Port. What I will simply do is this. I will answer those questions there because the turnaround time, especially for some of the content, if I can't get to set this up to really give y'all at least 20 minutes, then it won't be topical. You probably won't care about the answer beyond then, but I can definitely pick up the phone, do one of these numbers right here, click, post, and then boom, content. Just like that for what you asked, the way to engage. And I don't mind doing that at all. So yeah, I am officially making the pact. And if you would like to make the pact with me, please feel free to do so. Whatever you want to do, whether it's being, a writer, a producer, an artist, but if you want to be an auto mechanic, if you want to be a neurosurgeon, you want to be a nurse, you want to paint, you want to be an architect, whatever it is, let's make the pact right now. We are going to execute at all costs. That means no matter the obstacle, no matter the funding, no matter the resources, no matter the networking, no matter the weather outside. We won't be blaming the rain or the snow or it's too hot, it's too nice, it's All-Star Weekend, it's Grammy night. We won't be making any more excuses. We will simply go out here and execute at all costs because this is our dreams on the line. This is our goals, our purpose. This is our passion, and that can't wait for anybody. And if we're not in pursuit of it, then we are obviously not as passionate about doing what we said we wanted to do. All right? Let's be about that, man. Let's be about solely that, so we can get to our goals and our passions and our dreams and all of the above, man. I think it's very important. And right now, I'm going to close this out because there's no point for me to start rambling with y'all. It's just not. So listen, I want to leave you with one of my quotes, something from my jewelry box that you can also see on Instagram. As you can see, I'm pretty keen on Instagram, so follow me there as well. Listen, stop being the safe version of yourself. Again, back to what we were saying. The safe version of yourself is going to your 9 to 5 and just living check to check and taking whatever that situation gives you versus going out and getting exactly what you want. We got one life. That one life is valuable, and the last thing that you want to do is live it for somebody else. And if you're going to play it safe, you're going to be living for someone else. And that's whether it's your parents or your siblings or, hey, even your children or your spouse. You got to live for you. You got to take care of home. You got to do your thing. But always do it while living for you absolutely first. Stop being the safe version of yourself. You'll be happy that you did it. You'll be happy because you'll achieve the invaluable wealth that is internal. And I think we're all searching for that. So why not go out and get it, man? Let's effing go and get it, all right? Hey, thank you for taking time out to just talk to me about that. Real simple. That's all I wanted. That's all we got for today. This week, we are officially back. We are up and running. Guest or no guest, you will get content from me. I'm done playing games with myself. I'm done playing myself. It's time to get down to business. And hey, you can be anything you want in this world. So do myself and your mother a favor. And don't be a lame. All right. Hey, it's Camp from the Port. And I'll catch you next time.